exactly what God is looking for. With all of our faults and failures, we're still what He's looking for. True worshipers that will love Him with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength. I ain't got there yet, Brother Grace. I don't love Him all that much yet. It's all right. He knows which direction you're headed in. Y'all hear me? He knows which direction you're headed in, whether you're headed back or you're headed toward Him. He knows exactly what's going on in your mind and in your life. He knows and He sees the future, and He knows whether it's time to pull the plug and say, no, this guy like Saul, he ain't going to follow me no more. He ain't never going to get right. Aren't you glad that He's patient with us and He works with us and He sees beyond our faults and He sees our needs? You could be just exactly what God is looking for. You could be the next preacher. You could be the next prophet. Some of you, I already know God has revealed some things to me about you. I already see some things. But I can't tell you you're called a preacher. God's going to use you, because I wouldn't accept it from nobody either. It had to come from God.
Yeah.
But I can see where God is doing, what God is doing, and where He's leading you. You could be the one that God is looking for. And I believe you are. I thank God that every one of you are here today. You may have resisted Him. You may have pushed Him away. Say, well, church is good, and I just go for the singing. I do too. I like the singing, but singing leads me into worship.
Amen.
Singing leads me into what I really want, and that is a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. Would you stand? You know what we need to do? Shake loose everything that binds you up. Woo. Everything that keeps us from true worship, you need to shake it loose. All of the thoughts that Satan puts in our head about you're not worthy, shake it loose. Shake loose everything that binds you up, that keeps you from your worship, that keeps you from coming to God and letting God be the object of true worship, the true object of your worship. Shake it loose. You don't need it. You don't need it. You know what I hate in our day? That this right here has become our God. Become our Bible. I hope it's not on. Oh yeah, there. This has become our God. We won't leave home without it. Matter of fact, if we leave home without it, we go back to the house to get it.
That's true.
You don't care to be late for work as long as you got your phone. Oh, I've got to have my games. I've got to have, to become our God. Come on, boys, preaching, Brother Grace. It's the object of our worship. Oh, Lord. Really? That? Oh, I can't make it without getting up and finding out who done what. Come on. And I like to get on there myself. But you know what comes first? At least my hour of time with God first before I get on my phone. We need to make God first in our life. He's the object of worship. He's the one that's going to help me through today. And if we put Him first, that's exactly what He's looking for. He's looking for somebody who will really worship Him. I preached Wednesday night and talked about being salt. He called us to be the salt. Salt preserves, salt flavors. Man, salt causes people to be thirsty. God wants to cause us to be thirsty by giving good things to us in our life. We see all the greatness of God. We see the miracles of God, and it causes us to be thirsty. If we really understand how great He is, then He becomes the object of our worship. think sometimes we need to go back to the good old days, don't y'all? Every little hurt, we didn't get to go to the doctor. Our doctor was Jesus. Sorry, Sister Andrea, I didn't mean to throw it in. I know where'd she go, but we really need to get back to serving God. Get back to loving God. Putting Him first in our lives. Amen. He is the object of our worship. And He's looking for somebody today to worship Him. Could we come? Could we just come worship Him this morning? Could we just worship the Lord? I don't mean just praise Him, but I mean to worship Him. Lord, I